And we're back, guys, at the Indian Wells, day number 2. A little bit of rain, but we are still going to discuss the draw and who can possibly win it all. I'm your host, Good Energy, Tennis in a Minute. As always, this video is brought to you via the Doctrine of Fair Use to Fair Dealing and the Digital Millennium Act. And let's start with the number 1 ranked player in the world. Had a huge practice session today with Coco. Amazing. Listen, guys, out of all the ladies here, they're all amazing. And you know that we support every lady on tour. They're professionals. And I'm going to tell you, there's no one practicing harder than Coco right now. And if you factor in all the press and media obligations that Coco has, look, she's putting in the work. And I'm going to tell you, she's probably going to win this tournament. But let's start with the number 1 seed, the number 1 player in the world, coming off of the bye. She's going to be taking on Kessler. And listen, Kessler's playing well. Could this be an upset alert? Guys, listen. Kessler, good defensive player. She gets balls back. She's mentally tough. Power might be an issue in this matchup. And if it is, then we're going to go by default with Aryna Sabalenka to win this match. However, I think Kessler's got the skills and the tools to put pressure on Sabalenka. But McCartney, yeah, she's going to lose this match. So Aryna Sabalenka defeats Kessler and advances to the next round. Now, who's next? Bronzetti. Bronzetti did get the win, which was good. So congratulations to her. But I felt that it was a tough match, right? It came down to literally 2 breaks. And Bronzetti's the type of player where if you've watched her, you can see the improvements. She's not beating herself with the double faults. And I talked about this word for word. She's not beating herself with the double faults. She's expanded her range, so she's able to compete with these players like Helena that literally won a baseline all match long. And I still feel Bronzetti plays her best tennis inside the baseline, coming cross court, using her angles. She's getting better. And this was a really good win for Bronzetti. And I'm a huge fan of Bronzetti. Both of these ladies are both amazing. But Bronzetti's getting better. And that's what you're supposed to see when you're watching a player on tour. You have to see the improvements. And Bronzetti is getting better. She practices hard. Congratulations. Good win. Ekaterina, guys. She's going to take on Polina Kudermetova, who Claire Liu, look, I told you, Claire Liu, she's just struggling right now. I don't know. It's sad. I mean, we're talking about one of the best juniors of this generation. I mean, one of the youngest players in the history of the WTA to win a main tour match. Claire Liu at one point was really big time, but Polina, she had a very, very good, I guess you can say, last 6 months. She's been playing well. She comes from a tennis family. Her dad is just an amazing coach. But I think Ekaterina is going to just overpower her. So I like Ekaterina to defeat Polina Kudermetova, and her run here is going to come to an end. Cartel, she took out Lipchenko, like I said. Looks really good. Beatrice is not in good form. I think Cartel's going to have the tools to really pressure Beatrice. But Beatrice has a traveling section on wheels, and they do support her. They lift her up in these tough matches and tough situations. And I think this is going to be a tough match where the Brazilian fans are going to have to pull Beatrice through, and they will. I like Beatrice to defeat Cartel. Overall, just playing the tougher strength of schedule, just being battle-tested should get her through this match. Dasha, of course, she had the bye. She's going to be taking on Sofia Kenin. And listen, guys, I'm going to go with Kenin to win this match. I think Kenin looks good. She looks really good, and she should have beat her last time at the U.S. Open. This is going to be the time she gets the job done. There's nothing really that Dasha has that I feel is that much better than what Kenin can put out, except for footwork. I think Dasha's footwork's a lot better than Kenin's, but overall, I think Sofia Kenin's got the better serve. I think Sofia Kenin has a better mid-range game for sure. I think Dasha and her 15, 20-shot rallies, a lot of them are coming deep from the baseline where she's not a threat to win a point. She's just hoping her opponents make mistakes and lose the point. Kenin's a good shot maker. I mean, aside from the footwork, I think Kenin's got the better serve. You could argue that she has the better backhand. The forehand, I'd probably give the edge to Dasha, but not by much there. I think the short game, Kenin's got a much better short game. We're talking about drop shots and slices. Here's the thing about the desert. The conditions are extreme. It's so windy. It's hot during the day. It's very cold at night. You got to be mentally tough. And both of these players are mentally tough. The edge, I might give Dasha the mental edge because we see Dasha play a lot of 3-hour matches. You got to be mentally tough. She's sweating like crazy, and she's still hanging in there. So I'll give her the slight edge mentally, but this is the type of match where Kenin's going to be the underdog. You're probably going to have to take the underdog because Kenin is just that good. And she's a slam champion. A lot of people forget. Isla had to withdraw from this match against Kat McNally due to, I think I'm hearing a shoulder injury. Sad, guys. Isla's getting up there in age, mid-30s, or she's approaching. Tennis is a young girl sport. 16, 17, the 18-year-olds that are coming up get all the attention. Isla's never won a main tour title, and it's sad because it's not looking like she will at this. But you never know. Madison Keys just won a slam. I said I'd be the happiest man on earth if Keys wins a slam. I said this several years ago. And I would be the happiest man on earth if Isla could win a title. But it's not going to be here at the Indian Wells. Ludmilla is going to take on Kat McNally. I think Ludmilla gets past Kat. However, this is going to be the type of matchup where Kat, she's going to have the variety advantage. She's going to have the home crowd on her side. Wouldn't be surprised if she wins a set and steals it, but I'm gonna go with Ludmilla by default because she's been more active. Kat's coming back from injury, playing a lot of lower level matches. You can get away with beating Isla, who hasn't been active as well, but Ludmilla, I don't know. A top 20 player, she might struggle there. Layla had the bye. She's gonna take on Jacqueline Christian, who upset Veronica. Look, I don't know. I'm speechless. I don't think Jacqueline's going to beat Layla. I think Layla's going to be too fast and athletic. She's going to expose Jacqueline, who I just still don't think is that healthy. Layla wins that match. Jovic, this was suspended. Julia grabbed her. I'm going to have to take Julia to win. That's the pick, guys. And I'm going to take Polina to defeat Julia. Coco, she had the bye. She's going to take on Uchijima. Emma Raducanu, the huge upset, guys. Now, listen. Emma Raducanu, Uchijima, like I said, she's a defensive player. She's a good shot maker. Emma, the longer the rally, she's not going to win the point. And she clearly didn't. Broken multiple times by Uchijima. It's sad. We want to see the Coco-Emma matchup. It's just not going to happen. Emma has lost the majority of her matches this year in the first round. I told you guys in 21, regardless of Layla losing that slam final in New York, I said Layla's going to have the better career. She had the better junior career, right? She's a junior slam winner. But, I mean, the reality here is Layla's just more consistent. And Layla got a lot of that bad criticism early in her career. You know, people knocking her for winning 250s in Mexico. Listen, Isla's in her mid-30s. She's never even won a main tour championship. You can't knock someone for winning a title, you know, and even Coco going to Auckland, people were like, why is she in Auckland? Auckland has a rich tradition. The Williams sisters, Serena, Venus, they've all gone there and done well. The culture embraces, you know, these American players like Venus, Serena, Coco, you know, they're all there. And I like Coco to beat Uchijima. It's going to be on center court. And this is Uchima's first win here, the Indian Wells. So congratulations in the main draw. Beats a former top 10 player. But she's not going to beat Coco. I've watched Coco practice. She's practicing very hard. She looks really, really good. And Coco's going to put on a show, guys. I think it's been since 2001 since a female American won the Indian Wells. Too long, guys. Coco's got to end that streak. She's going to defeat Uchijima. I think she's going to serve well. I think she's going to attack her with the backhand, reducing these long exchanges, being aggressive, hitting winners. The crowd's going to back Coco, and Coco wins that match there. Ogla, she was throwing a fit, but like I said, Tomova, the underdog, is going to win that match. Tomova's a seasoned, solid player, right? She's got a lot of titles. I'm going to take her to win a set over Sakkari. Sakkari's struggling, and it's good when I hear the announcers say the same things I say. I'm not going to say who, but yeah, professional, former player, Hall of Famer, mentioned, look, Sakkari's struggling right now. She doesn't look good. And I'm going to take the player that's used to the court. I'm going to take the player that played a really good match against someone that was in form. And I'm going to take Tomova to win a set off of Sakkari. That's the pick there. I think she can do it. I think she can beat Sakkari outright, by the way. Amanda, she's looking good. She's going to take on Belinda Bencic, who, that was just target practice there. And I think Belinda's going to defeat Amanda Anisimova. I think Belinda's going to have the power edge. She's going to have the mental edge. And coming back from the baby, she kind of has nothing to lose, right? I like Belinda to defeat Amanda. I think she's gonna have issues with her serve again. I think she's gonna get frustrated a little bit. Although she does look to be in good form and athletic wise, she has slimmed down a little bit. She looks like a different player. She dyed her hair. She doesn't look like the same player. But I think Belinda's gonna overpower Amanda in most of those exchanges, and she's gonna get frustrated pretty quick. AP in the building. Alicia Parks, a.k.a. Alicia Rockets. Anna Kalinskaya. It'd be good if they can finish this match during the day. I think Alicia's style at night, it's tough during these conditions. Very windy, right? That's gonna affect her power. She's gonna be hitting into the wind, serving into the wind. If this match can be replayed or made up, rescheduled, resumed during the day, I think Alicia Parks can win the match. But first set, I gave you the total over 8.5. Whoever wins that match takes on Diana Snyder. I think Alicia would have a better chance to defeat Diana than Anna Kalinskaya. Because she's in too good a form. Alicia has the power to overpower Diana and just win points. Diana can't match the power or speed of Alicia Parks. Not by any chance at all. I think of the two ladies, Alicia Parks has a better chance to defeat Diana. Emma Navarro, guys, coming off the bye. She's going to take on Sorana Cirstea. That's going to be a tough match. We saw them really, really duel it out recently. I'm going to take Emma to win the match. I do felt that Sorana, she's coming out looking good early, but just like Kessler, that second set, she starts to fatigue a little bit. If it goes 3, I think Emma takes it. So I like Emma to win. Lauren Moneyline Davis, Alina Evanesian. Look, I had to go with Alina to win this match. I just feel she's in better form. And either way, I think Vekic is going to defeat either one of them. Elisa Mertens taking on Kimberly Burrell. It's not going to be, like I said, I think Kimberly's going to beat Victoria as the underdog. She did do that. I think Elise, she's putting in the work. She's playing doubles. She looks good. Elise is going to beat Kimberly Burrell. So I like Mertens to win that match. Potapova, like I said, would beat Jessica Bozes Monero. It's going to be a good match against Keys, but Keys is going to have the crowd backing her. As long as she's practicing, putting in the work, Keys should beat Potapova. But that won't be an easy match. Potapova's like that fastball. She's going to attack Keys. She gets Keys coming inside that baseline. Keys is going to make a lot of mistakes. So that's not a lock for Keys to win. I think Potapova can upset her as well. Elena, the Big Four member, right? Taking on Susan Lemons. I like Rebecca to win. She's going to be too good with the serve. Simple as that. Aryna Begu takes out Ann Lee. Ann Lee looks nice. She has her hair done. Bolt is Bolt. What's up with Bolter? That's gonna be a tough match. Both ladies gonna hold. First set over 8.5. Begu should beat Bolter, to be honest with you. She really should. But the problem is, Big U is really a clay player. These courts, they are moving very slow, so I think it's going to help Big U. And here's the thing about that. A lot of people think you can't really just change your game from surface to surface. I think what people have to understand, and look, I'm not really too technical these days with, giving away too many secrets or knowledge anymore when it comes to the game. Because the videos here, especially when I'm covering the draw, they're so long, I can't really do that. It's going to be like a 2-hour video. But your game is your game, right? Whether you're playing on clay, grass, or hard. Now, your game will excel on certain surfaces that you play stronger on. But your game's a game. You can't really go too much into a match changing your game. You have to be comfortable with what you do, right? I talk about averages. As a professional, you're going to average a certain amount of points, statistics, errors, mistakes. You're going to do what you do best, and you're going to put up your average. That's what makes a professional. That's what gets the professional elite athletes those $1 million checks, those $1 million endorsements, those $1 million game purses, is just being consistent with their average. Now, as you move from surface to surface, you're going to play how you play. That's how you play, right? In some surfaces, you're just not going to look too well because the things you do just not going to work. Now, someone like Big U, she favors the slower surfaces, right? She wants to slow things down. She's tall. She's a lot of top spin, very tactical. She needs to construct the point. Katie Bolter is a little bit more aggressive. She does move better on hard. I think she's got the power advantage. I think she's got the serve advantage. Now, Big U's the type of player, I say it all the time, she's a walking 3-setter, right? She'll have a good first set. Her level will dip. Her opponent will come back in the match. I mean, look at that match against Pegula a couple of years ago in Charleston. I can go on and on with these matches with Big U, where they're just long, they're drug out. If this were clay, Big U wins the match without a doubt, very easily. But I'm going to go with Bolter to win this match. I think Bolter can outserve Big U. I think she can outstrike Big U. And she favors the surface. So we'll take Bolter to win that match. The hard-hitting Clara Tauson, she's going to take on Elizabeta. It's going to be a good match here. I'm sorry, not Elizabeta. Camila Osorio. It's going to be a good match here. Now, Clara Tauson, good server. She's going to put a lot of pressure on Osorio. She's in shape. Here's the thing, though. Osorio can put together a strategy to work Tauson. Tauson's going to get frustrated, and she's going to make mistakes, and that's going to give Camila the momentum to win this match and steal it. But I'm going to go with Tauson. I think Tauson's not going to come here to play tennis with Osorio, right? Osaka had to because she was injured. Tauson's not going to play tennis with Osorio. She's not going to be, participating, if you will, in these 20-shot rallies. Tauson's going to go for aces on the serve, win as many points without Osorio touching the ball. In these exchanges, she's going to step up and go down the line with her power. I think Camilla's going to be on the back foot a lot more than she was versus Osaka because Osaka was injured. So therefore, I'm going to take Tauson to win this match. Tauson's not going to participate in these 20-shot rallies. She's going to step up and hit aggressive winners. Let's see. Vavara. So she's going to be taking on Mero. Is that right? I think so. Yeah, it's got to be. I'm going to take Mero to defeat Vavara. Look, Putin, the entire Russian officials, they're backing Mira Andreeva. They think she's the future of Russian tennis, like I said. And she's going to beat Vavara. Again, similar matchup, Osorio, Tauson. Vavara's got to build and construct the point. And Mira's just not going to participate in that. She's going to step up, hit aggressive winners down the line. She's going to use her athletic ability. And I think she'll win. Danny Mel taking on Haley Baptiste. Take the first set over 8.5. Haley's going to be able to win points and hold against Danielle. And I think that's the main thing people got to realize here is Danielle can hold, but she's not a good defender. So we'll take the first set over 8.5. Kruger is going to take on Svitolina. Kruger probably should have lost that match. I felt that volley nets blew it big time. But Svitolina is going to have too much variety here against a taller player. This is the matchup that's going to favor Svitolina because she's not playing this young, fast, athletic. I think volley nets would beat Svitolina because similar style of play, longer rallies, and then she could beat her athletically. Kruger's not going to beat Svitolina athletically, so that's going to enable Svitolina to play her game a little bit more. Take away the serve from Kruger, she's going to have to work to win points, and I think Svitolina should win. Big Mama Asa, Yelena taking on Wong. Yelena looks really strong, really good. I think she defeats Wong. I think we're talking about sleepers. I don't think we're going to see Raducanu, Iga, or Aryna win this tournament. It's going to be someone like the Yelena Ostapenkos, the Cocos. It's going to be someone that hasn't won this tournament come through and win it. Magda Linette, she's going to take on Pegula. Look, 3-setter. Well, she's getting older. She's in her 30s. I think Pegula wins this match. Pegula's practicing. She's looking really good. Vika and Kinwon Jung. It's going to be another good match. What concerns me about Vika is she's doing mommy duties, which she's multi-talented. She's amazing. One of my favorite players on tour. Good friends with Serena Williams. They've had some really good matches, some good interviews, some good exchanges, some just memorable moments. But I feel when she's struggling, I think when she's struggling against a lot of the younger players, I think that's where Kinwon's going to come in and just overpower Vika. If Vika constructs the point, like I said, look, she comes straight down the tee. She'll jam you up in the corners, making it very tough to where you're not a threat in returning. And someone like Kinwon, though, who's worked on her forehand, she's going to have the range to be able to fight back from that. And I just feel athletically, Vika's slowing down a lot. You know, she's really starting to slow down, and you could tell she's slowing down. And I think Vika does well here. Back-to-back champion, or, two-time champion here, rather. She looks good. She plays good here than she does, I think, in a lot of tournaments on the main tour. But Kinwon, she can overcome being jammed up in the corner. She's got the range. And the key is serving well. If Kinwon serves well, then she'll beat Azarenka, and I think she will. So I like Kinwon to beat Azarenka. Marta Kostyuk, she's going to take on Robin Montgomery. I talked about this match. Robin, she can't afford to get down early because the crowd had to really pick her up against Jula, who was up a set and 5-2 lead. Jula had a mental collapse, but not necessarily. Well, yeah, she did, because all she had to do was hold one service game. She would have won the match. But I say the toughest thing to do in the professional tennis match is hold, and when the crowd's cheering you on. Robin can't rely on the crowd to pick her up like she did last match, because if the crowd didn't pick her up, she would have lost the match. Here's the thing with Robin Montgomery. I think Robin has to serve well. She's going to need 10 aces. She's got to get as many free points as possible without going these long rallies with Marta. Marta's getting better. She's putting in the work. She's practicing a lot. And it's going to be a tough match for Robin. I do think Robin can beat Marta, but I think Marta's going to win the match. I think Marta's going to play a little too fast for Robin's liking, and that's going to cause a lot of mistakes. So I think Marta wins this match just by speeding Robin up and cutting off the court. Muhova, she's going to take on Elizabeta. I like Muhova to win this match. Too much variety. Elizabeta, look, good mid-range coming cross court. Like a lot of the Italian players. A lot of the Italian players get in trouble when they try to baseline with these aggressive, deep ball threats. Polini has worked on the forehand. The range, right? I've covered Polini for years. There's been times where she couldn't hang in there in these deep exchanges. Now she can. Elizabeth is getting better. Bronzetti, they're all getting better. And I think Polini's motivating them to get better and work harder, because at one stage they were all around 40th, 50th on the main tour, kind of stuck in the middle there, including Martina Trevisan. But now Polini is a top 10 player, and I think they're all working hard because they know and they can see it's possible. But Muhova's too much variety here. Deep, mid-court, slices, drop shots, and Elizabeta's going to be frustrated. Katarina, she's going to take on Yulia. That's going to be a good match. We got players that can hit drop shots. Overall, though, Katarina is just... she's going to be a little more consistent in beating Yulia from different angles and areas of the court. So I'll take Katarina to win that match. Ons, the best shot maker in the world. Look, she can use her pace, redirect, and spin. She should take care of Diana. So I like Ons to come out and beat Diana Yastremka. Caroline Garcia, she's going to take on Iga Swiatek. Iga! Big bad Iga! It'll be a tough match. I do think Caroline can beat Iga and upset her. This is one of those tough matches early on. Take the first set over 8.5 because Caroline Garcia, she can hold. She's going to play vertical. She's going to play aggressive. And that type of style is going to frustrate Iga. This is what I want to see because Caroline Garcia is one of those players. I don't think she's in her best form, by the way, but a win over Bernarda Pera is a good win. Caroline Garcia is one of those players that can beat Iga. And she's kind of one of the players that people forget about. First set over 8.5. And is that it? Yeah, that's it, guys. So that's what we have for the draw. So thank you guys for listening. Like the video, show some love, hit the super thanks. Again, guys, the channel, even though I haven't been producing as many videos lately, the channel is doing better than ever. January, one of the biggest months ever on the channel. February, again, one of the biggest months ever on the channel. So now I'm not doing as many videos. Like I said, I spend my days helping people, a lot of philanthropy, giving back, helping people that are struggling in need of things. So that's taking up a lot more of my time these days, helping people. That's why we're here. We're here to help people. But tennis is still the passion, guys. We're here at the Indian Wells. I'm just enjoying the festivities. I probably should be bringing you more videos and content because there's so much going on here. It's tennis paradise. It's beautiful. I love it here. But just having a good time. So thank you guys for the love and support. But Coco, I want to tell you guys, she's working hard. She's practicing hard. She's by far of all the ladies, she's putting in the most work. So she gets her form. And again, I talked about the long layoff. I wouldn't advise or recommend Coco take these long layoffs. Like after Australia, I would have played one of the 500s. You have the 6 tournament requirement for 500s. I would have played one of those 500s early on. Just start getting them out the way because Coco's not coming to Charleston, South Carolina. She used to play that tournament, but she's not. You see the American stars like the Emma Navarros, the Pegulas, the Collins. And Collins is the defending champion. They're going to play those tournaments now. Coco's not going to play those tournaments. And I feel... well, the main reason is Coco doesn't like that clay. Coco likes the dark brown clay. She doesn't like the gray clay, right? Coco said in the past that that's not a clay court. It plays more like a hard court. And I've been on the courts. Yeah, I mean, you don't have that slide. You can't really slide into your shot. So it is a horrible clay court. But, I mean, we're not known for clay here in the States. But I do think that... she should have played that to keep her form from Australia. I mean, she started the season. If you go back to last year, she's on a double-digit win streak. She started the season again, making history. One of only a few players in the history of the tour to start multiple seasons with at least 9-match win streaks. You lose that form, it's tough to get it back because you need matches. You can practice as much as you want. That's not emulating game speed. You need game speed where you have an opponent that's playing for money, rankings, endorsements. They're playing for their life, so you can't practice. You can't duplicate that in practice. You have to play matches. So if she's practicing a lot though, she gains her form. This first match against Uchijima is going to be very important. I feel she's going to have to play well because players like Sabalenka, I feel Sabalenka is so strong that she could practice hard and really just have just have a little bit of her range. She's never going to lose her power. As long as she could have a little bit of her range, I feel Sabalenka plays her way through these first and second rounds, just overpowering opponents. And she starts to pick up her form progressively as the tournament goes on. Whereas Coco, I feel Coco, she does the same, but a lot of Coco's razzle and dazzles, a lot of her impressive matches, that really comes from just her mental confidence of just knowing she's one of the best players in the world. She's better than just about everyone on planet Earth. And I feel that comes from playing more matches, right? Because Coco feeds off of the crowd. She's so popular, right? So as Coco's playing more matches, the crowd's cheering her on. Then she starts to, with Coco, it's the whole package. It's the mental, it's the physical, whereas I feel Sabalenka a lot of times mentally she's not there. She's let's just be honest, she's rude, she's sometimes disrespectful, she's slamming her rackets, she's yelling at her camp. So the mental's not there, it's just the physical. She's so physically gifted, she overpowers opponents through these early rounds until she finds her form, and then mentally she starts to calm down because she's winning and she knows she can break back and come back and overpower these deficits. Whereas Coco, the mental's got to be there, the physical's always there, but I feel it's the mental, and the crowd's got to pick her up and make her play well. Because I talked about the losses on the last phase of the tour, where look, she's used to playing on center court. You have these rain delays, you put her on a side court. That's going to affect her mentally, because now you don't have the crowd there that's going to be favoring Coco, picking her up. You're playing on a side court that you normally practice on. There's a lot of spacing issues. You're not used to looking all four corners of the court, seeing the crowd cheer you on, yelling them. It's mental. Stuff like that is mental, Like I've had tournaments where there's rain delays and you play on a different site or a different court, and it's not the same. It's not the same, especially when you're big time and you're a star and you're used to that crowd cheering on. You want to see that crowd. Guys, look, whether you want to admit it or not, if you've never played in front of a big crowd, or if you have and then you go down to a smaller crowd, you notice and you realize your confidence, you start to get affected because you don't have as many cheers. When you're down and you're struggling, you're not playing as well, there aren't as many cheers. That does affect your game. Look, you want people cheering you on. And I just feel that the last few tournaments she's played, it just wasn't the case, especially playing on that small side court in Abu Dhabi. But listen, I think Coco, she's practicing hard. She looks good. She's always a big draw. Look, when Coco shows up, that line's going to wrap around the freaking concession stand. She's that big time of a player. Everyone wants to see Coco. We're talking about people from all walks of life, which I don't understand how she gets so many haters online. It's just, I don't even think these people exist. These aren't even real people, for crying out loud. Because you show up in real life in person, you see all the people from all walks of life, all races, male, female, boys, girls, teenagers, adults, elders. They're all cheering for Coco. You have these older ladies, all races and colors. They're turning their phones, the other way, trying to get a selfie with Coco practicing. They're all excited. They're posting it all over social media online. Just seeing all these people get so excited about Coco, it's queen vibes. She has that queen type of mentality. I'm telling you, I see all these people from all walks of life just trying to get a picture with Coco in the background on the court, like, oh my goodness, that's Coco. Coco's amazing, guys, and all of you that come here and support Coco, she's amazing. We know she's the future of tennis, but she's got to get one of these Indian Wells, and it would be amazing if it'd be this year. Coco's my pick to win it, guys. If she's showing up, walking on that court, she's always my pick to win it. She's that good. Thank you guys for love and support. Like the video. Talk tennis. Who wins it? What matchup do you like? What about Emma Raducanu, guys? I want to talk more about Emma. She's too big not to. Stay tuned. We'll be back. Thanks again.